Hello, Bucks fans. Welcome into JS Online. I'm Kassidy Hill, joined by Lori Nickel here at Fiserv Forum, where Lori, Heat defeated the Bucks 130-117 in Game 1 of this round 1 of the NBA playoffs. It was not really close from the jump, at least not on the scoreboard. Of course, biggest story of the night is Giannis Antetokounmpo going down in the second quarter with a lower back contusion. Took a really hard hit from Kevin Love. Lori, he got up, he shot his free throws, he left the game, he came back at the beginning of the second quarter, he sat on the bench, he got back into the game for a minute and 23 seconds, and then he left the game completely for the rest of the night. Head coach Mike Budenholzer told us after the game, x-rays came back clear initially. They'll have to just kind of wait and see how Giannis is feeling throughout the week. But Laura, you've covered Giannis for a long time. You've covered this team. Was this kind of game of musical chairs, was that more of Giannis wanting to push through, or the Bucks being precautious, just from what you're understanding, your opinion?
100%. Well, a couple of factors. First of all, he didn't have a collision necessarily with Kevin Love. He was in the air and he torqued kind of funny, and he fell hard on his tailbone. That's a play that we've seen from him a million times. What's different is that I don't know if he could quite get his footing, but while he was spinning, he was bumped. So he couldn't brace his fall, and he fell right on, I'm assuming it's the tailbone. There's not a whole lot of information out there about lower back contusions. I usually look at like Cleveland Clinic or Sloan Kettering or Mayo Clinic, Freighter in the medical center, and there's nothing. So I don't know what the hell it is. I think it's a back bruise, and I don't even know what a clear x-ray means. It's not like you get a spurt. So can't find that out. So
Just imagining him walking around here tomorrow with one of those little donuts they make people sit on.
You wouldn't see it, trust me. He would never. But so he's a tough guy. I mean, he always wants to play through everything, and he surprisingly came back. And I told Ben Steele sitting next to me, I'm like, I wonder if he's got like one of those little wraps around. You know, that's what fat people like me do, or old people. We put these wraps on because it feels it's some support. It's not much. It's kind of an illusion, because he was but he just didn't look the same. He wasn't moving clearly. He was gingerly jogging. And so Budenholzer said after the game, it just didn't look right. Pull him out. So I think, knowing how the Bucks operate, they kind of defer to Giannis on some of these things. How are you feeling? What's going on? And he lies all the time. It says, I'm fine, I'm fine. You can tell kind of by his body language and his facial expressions that he was frustrated. They were down, I think, 26-14. They sucked coming out from the beginning, and clearly he was just trying to make a play, spark his team, be the leader, do the things that he does. And so I think maybe that was some of what was at play. But as soon as they saw, the body doesn't lie, and the back doesn't lie. You can't play with a bad back. So out of precaution, I don't know. I would say no. Backs are tricky. They can be okay in 3 days, or they can be okay in 3 years. I mean, I don't want to alarm, but so Budenholzer was just like, yeah, no, you're coming out and you're done. And we haven't seen him since then. So I have probably 2,000 questions and no answers for you. I'm sorry.
Hey, that sounds about like all of the city of Milwaukee right now. As you said, backs can be tricky. The Bucks are just going to sort of monitor Giannis over the next couple of days. They'll face the Heat Wednesday night in Game 2, and they'll see how Giannis feels Monday morning when he wakes up, Tuesday morning when he wakes up, Wednesday morning when he wakes up. Right. And let's actually hear from Bud now on everything he had to say about Giannis' status and possible availability.
Yeah, he just, wasn't moving, didn't look comfortable, confident. So, felt like the right thing.
And there's history with him. He came back from the wrist, All-Star break. You know what he did in 21. Are you just cautiously optimistic, or are you totally neutral? You're going to wait and see what all the readings are?
Yeah, we have to wait and see, what the doctors say, most importantly, what Giannis says. Certainly we've been blessed with him being incredibly resilient and quick to heal, but you just got to take it day by day and see how he's doing and see how he feels.
You don't want him to be hurt, but it's still next man up mentality. We have enough talent on this team to cover for him until he comes back or possibly comes back. So again, I just don't want to see him hurt, because I know what hurt it feels like, and especially Game 1 of the of the playoffs. Yeah, that's our guy. We hope, he's going to be well. He's going to be back out there with us Wednesday. But we just got to focus on, who's out there at the same time. They had a guy go down also, and they can continue to compete and, play well. So same mindset we try to have. It sucks that, our guys go down or can't return, but we still got a job to do out there.
Lori, without Giannis, the Bucks were still fairly equal in, and I wrote this down just to make sure I got it right, in assists, rebounds, turnovers, even free throws, which the Bucks actually led the Heat on Sunday night. The biggest differential, of course, was the field goal percentage, particularly in the paint and on fast break points. Jimmy Butler shredded this Bucks defense tonight. He finished with a double-double. Is it as simple as getting Giannis back and putting him on Jimmy, or would that not even necessarily be his job?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Middleton might pick him up, or Holiday. And of course Giannis would be part of that as team defense, double teams. But it all depends on how Giannis is feeling, how he's moving, his mobility. I don't know at this point. I mean, I have no idea. And the 3-pointers from the Heat also just destroy. I mean, I don't know who shoots 60% ultimately. So no, the Bucks failed in every area on defense tonight. So I don't think Giannis could fix everything, but he would be a big help. Yeah.
Both Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton gave Jimmy Butler his props after the game. Let's hear what they had to say about guarding the Marquette alum.
Being aggressive, very elusive, very smart player. He brings the aggression to you. Sometimes it's hard to navigate because you would think that the defender was the one initiating contact, but a lot of times it's him. So I think that puts the ref in a position to call it one way or call it a certain way. So again, Jimmy is Jimmy. He's going to be aggressive, a lot of mid-range and a lot of free throws. One thing that we need to cut out is the free throw line. But yeah, Jimmy's going to do him. I think he got to his spots whenever he wanted, easily. I mean, he's a great player. You got to give him credit with that. He's crafted with his moves, crafted drawing fouls, but we just got to do a better job of, making it tougher on him.
Well, the Bucks will look to even the series on Wednesday night, tip-off at 8 p.m. here at Fiserv Forum. We do know that Miami will be without guard and Milwaukee native Tyler Hero. He broke his right hand. Lori, I don't know if you saw it, but on the play when he dove for the ball that he and Grayson Allen were both going for, that was the play. And he immediately got up and was holding his hand. You could tell something was wrong. I saw him after the game in the tunnel here. He had what appeared to be a cast on. He will be out 4 to 6 weeks. So the Bucks, if nothing else, will not see Tyler Hero for the rest of this series. We'll await word on Giannis. Lori, any early predictions for Wednesday night's game 2?
This was awful. This was such a stunner. They can't blame it on Giannis being out. They have an 11-6 record with him not playing in the games this year that mattered, not including the final 2 regular season games where they rest everybody. So they have enough talent and depth, but I think there's too many guys who are not fulfilling their roles at the playoff level. You can't get 6 points out of a guy anymore, or 7 points here and there. It's got to be big time production. The Bucks have 6 guys normally who average in double figures in scoring throughout the regular season, but they were kind of always changing around the rosters and the lineups and the starting lineups and who was playing. So maybe this was a good wake up call, but they weren't hitting the 3-pointer. There's so many red flags from this game. And they looked flat. And you expect that. From a week off of rest, and for some of these guys, almost 2 full weeks, you expected some rustiness and miscommunication. Even with Chris Middleton, as good as he was tonight, there were probably the back-to-back turnovers he had. It was just simply because it was rust for him. What's uncharacteristic is how bad they looked on defense. You could see just they're looking at each other. Who's doing that? Is not a typical Bucks team. So I never would have expected this from game 1. So predicting Wednesday, I'm done with that. At first, I thought this would be a cakewalk for them over Miami. I'll never say anything that's stupid again. No, because the Bucks they've got something to prove now.
Never say never. We've all been there. Whatever happens, we will be here to cover it for you all on JS Online, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Make sure to catch our full Game 1 coverage as well on JS Online, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Lori will have a column up on Giannis. Also, make sure to check out Jim Warzowski's feature coming out on Monday morning. You won't want to miss that.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry about my face. I have 18 stitches in my face. I'm trying to hide it. I had skin cancer surgery a couple of days ago, and I thought this was going to be an easy game to cover, so I'm just sorry. Don't listen to what I'm saying and don't look at me. So
Good precautionary tale.
yeah.
For Lori Nickel, I'm Kassidy Hill from Fiserv Forum for JS Online. Thanks, guys.